So I'm sure many of you have seen the news articles, the comments, the posts about Level Up giveaways, apparently scamming people due to some winners not being paid the prizes that they've won. First thing I want to say is that I'm not a scammer. In fact, it couldn't be any further from the truth. I would say for the past 2 years, give or take, Level Up Giveaways has actually been giving away prizes for free, in a sense. I want to mention that I'm reading off my phone as well, so if you see me looking down, I'm not looking up and stuff like that. I'm literally just trying to read some notes that I've put on my phone. So, as I mentioned, for the past 2 years or so, Level Up Giveaways has been giving away prizes for free. And what I mean by free is that the prizes that I've been giving out, the money that's come in, hasn't covered the costs. The company's been running in huge amounts of debt, a lot of debt for those 2 years. Much of what I'm about to say is going to sound like a justification, an excuse, or me trying to get out of everything that's been going on. And I just want to say that's not the case. I would urge you to watch the whole video and listen carefully. But this isn't me trying to justify everything that's gone on. This isn't me condoning everything that's gone on or anything like that. It's literally just me explaining why some, not all winners have been paid in the past 12 months. Instead of making a long video, I'm going to try and break it up into parts. I really want everyone to watch this video, and I think if the video is 20, 30 minutes long, I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going to try and break it up into parts, this being part 1. So what's happened? Why have some winners not been paid? Now, before we get into that, I think it's important that we briefly, just quickly touch on where this business actually started from, how it came about, and so on. So the giveaway business was started by me roughly 5 years ago, just before COVID happened. So I started the business and then COVID came along. It was started by me on my own, no one else involved, and started off in like a little unit where I used to dismantle cars from. It was originally called VAG Recycle Competitions, just based on the name of my other business, which was dismantling cars and called VAG Recycle. So I just added the competition bit on the end. And it was just easier for me to transition over like that and bring the same followers and crowd along with me. I would say that I was one of the first to actually start in the raffle business. Not the first, one of the first. It was a very tough business at the time. A few companies had started already and they were way ahead, doing some amazing prizes that I could only dream of. But I didn't really start the business to, do prizes like that. And I didn't want to do supercars and houses and stuff like that. I just wanted to make a little bit of money. I've come from nothing, absolutely nothing. Those that know my history from watching podcasts that I've done in the past and stuff like that know that I've come from a very, very bad place. And I just wanted, this is my opportunity to, do some good, make some money and be, happy. So I kind of started off small. I just stuck with cars that I knew. Volkswagen Audi platform, Volkswagen Audi group even, hence the name. So, stuff like Golfs, TTs, A3s, German cars basically. The very first car that I did was a VW Bora show car, and that car actually lost me £11,000. So straight away I was in the red, not factoring in the cost of setting up anyway, but at that time, and still today, that's a lot of money to lose. And I think some people may have just stopped there. But, I was eager to get going, and as I would learn, this was part of how things go. The next few cars did a lot better. Now, as I mentioned, I wasn't concentrating on huge amounts of profit. I prided myself on doing the best odds around, which a lot of sites at that time didn't like, because I could do the same prize but for a lot less odds because it was just me. I never had a team of 10 people to pay. So that created a lot of tension, and I had a lot of people trying to get me shut down from the start. but that's another story. Moving forward, the site started to do a lot better. It gained a lot of traction. And that's when I kind of decided, you know what, I'm going to level up, hence the name, time to level up. And I decided to come out of my little dingy unit, move into a much bigger one that was about 6 times the cost of my previous one. And I also got the website redesigned again, which was about 6 or 7 times the cost of what I was originally paying. So straight away, I've jumped in at the deep end. I also decided to take on a lot riskier cars and prizes, doing larger amounts and doing bigger cars and more expensive cars. At first, it was all great, it was good. Things were going great. Started working with a lot of YouTubers that helped promote the business, helped them, helped me, helped you guys win. Yeah, everything was going good, to be fair. At this point though, the competition sector got very busy. It was a lot easier to set up a raffle business. When I started, it was tough. It was so hard. But now there's companies out there that will set them up for you, and it's become a lot easier. You know, social media started to get filled up with other sites, and yeah, the competition got really hard. At this point, for me, you know, I had to decide whether to go hard or go home. It was continue or just not, basically. Now, around the same time, I was luckily given an opportunity to raffle a supercar. So I was able to team up with a popular YouTuber to raffle their supercar, and that supercar actually had a £100,000 cash turnip attached to it. So someone could either take the supercar or take a life-changing £100,000. Now, this is the biggest prize that I'd done at this time. I was absolutely buzzing. A few things went a little bit wrong with it. It was the first time me introducing the tech service. So we made a massive mistake there that crashed our website. But overall, it went great. The YouTuber got their money and the car went, and the winner actually took the £100,000. So the winner took the £100,000 and the car was sold, and you know, everyone was happy. Now, to keep up the momentum of that, I've just given away a supercar. Well, I've just had a supercar on the site, and £100,000 been won. Now, to keep up that momentum, I had to, you know, think of something else to do next. That is when I was offered what I thought at the time, and some of you will agree, I was offered the ultimate car to give away, and it was a Nissan Skyline R34. Heavily modified, just an amazing car. The best thing about that is that I didn't have to pay for the car up front. So the car went on the website. Once the ticket sales had been done, at the end, the person who owned the car would be paid. The winner would have the car. I'd make a little bit of money, and you know, that's how it should have went, really. However, it didn't. This is where I experienced the biggest loss of the business so far, at that point so far. Now, the agreed price for the R34 was £150,000. Good price for the car considering what had gone into it, and that was kind of the market value of the R34s around that time, and I think it's even more so now. I don't know nothing about Jap cars, so for me, I was just going off what people were saying and stuff. So, £150,000. Now, to bring in £150,000 to cover the car, a lot more money would have to come in. It's not just a case of selling £150,000 worth of tickets. There's fees, there's promo, and everything else that goes with it. So I would say to cover that cost, you would have to bring in at least at least 180,000 to cover promo, fees, etc. So, yeah. To cut a very long story short, that's not what happened. Only around £70,000 came in from that competition. Now, there's a lot of reasons probably as to why that happened. It wasn't the car people. One of the big things that did happen around that time is the car itself actually went onto a popular YouTube channel to be reviewed. During the review, the car broke. The gearbox went. So that put a grey cloud over the whole competition, and yeah, I think that massively contributed to why the car didn't do well. But there was other factors, you know, some of the competitions weren't doing good around that time anyway, so this was just very, very unfortunate. So yeah, the car only brought in £70,000. I had to give the owner of the car 150. Now, the competition site was doing well, but it wasn't doing that well, and I never really had that money sitting around. I had some of it. I had to sell some stuff that I had and, cover that. But the biggest thing that I had to do was borrow money. So I took a massive loan out to cover the cost of that. So the winner got the car, and the owner of the car got the £150,000 in full. And I was left in debt. Now, I'd put everything that I had into paying off that car, and I had to borrow more money to continue. So I had a loan to cover the car, and I borrowed money to continue, to get other cars and stuff, which I did. Around this time, we're in April 2023, so it's a few years, later in the business. So yeah, 2023, roughly April was when I did that car. So unfortunately for me, unfortunately for the business, things never really picked up after that car, if I'm being completely honest. I did a few good cars after that, some Golfs, just kind of went back to what I knew. Did some Mark 7 Golfs and stuff like that. And yeah, things just didn't really pick up, unfortunately. As I mentioned earlier, there was other sites now coming. They were doing insane prizes. They're doing supercars on a weekly basis. They're doing houses, they're doing holidays, instant wins, something that I'd not picked up on yet. Yeah, I was just getting knocked to the side, and yeah, things just weren't going great, really. And it was what it was. And it was kind of like at this point, I think, end of 2023, it was kind of like I should have given up. I should have not even given up, but like I should have called it a day. Should have called it a day and said, you know what, business isn't doing great. Shut up shop. However, I didn't. And I decided to do a huge prize again off my own back. No YouTube influence to begin with, nothing. So I decided to do a £100,000 competition. Now, not only that, I attached around £60,000 worth of instant wins to that as well. So not only will someone win £100,000, there's going to be £60,000 worth of prizes won instantly, meaning that there was a £160,000 prize pot. That competition started off very, very slow. I was panicking from the start. Ticket sales just was so slow. I reached out to some YouTubers to ask for help with promo. Many of them did help me, even putting it on their YouTube channel and stuff like that. I also sunk a lot of money into promo with Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, which that's in the tens of thousands itself when you're doing a competition like that. It came to Christmas Eve when it was time to actually do the competition, and it was bad. It was really bad. And I should have just refunded everyone. I should have just stopped, refunded everybody, or I should have maybe halved the prize. So, instead of £100,000, I should have done £50,000. I think winning £50,000 for a lot of people at Christmas Eve, is a massive thing. Yeah, that's what I should have done, but I didn't. Me being me and me being a man of my word, the whole way through, I decided to do it. Decided to do the competition regardless. And yeah, the £100,000 was won, and around £40,000-ish of instant wins were won as well. Now, the big problem for me was that only around £40,000 came in from that competition. So, yeah, I was, over £100,000 down. I had to pay the winner £100,000, and I had to pay out the instant wins as well. Now, remember, I'm already in the red massively from the situation with the R34 and from having to borrow more money to continue in the first place. So I had to borrow more money. Now, I couldn't borrow the full amount because I'd already borrowed so much already, and the business wasn't doing good. So, on paper, lending me that sort of money wasn't viable for a lot of places or people. So I managed to borrow some money, and I managed to pay the I managed to pay the instant winners. All the instant winners got paid, and I managed to pay the £100,000 winner a large sum as well. We came to an agreement where I would just pay it down basically. I never had the money. And I had other situations going on, so money was being held as well. But ultimately, the money wasn't there to pay the winner. The money wasn't there. For whatever reason was going on, the money just wasn't there to pay the winner. So I had to pay a chunk and then pay it down. The winner, hats off to him, was being great, understanding, and has been understanding through pretty much up until this point actually, because I wouldn't say not being understanding, but obviously he's lost his page, he's angry, is what I'm trying to say. So up to date now, that winner has received £62,000 out of the £100,000 that he'd won. I'll get into that a little bit later. I'll probably get into that in another video because that situation itself is a bit, different. I've told you what's happened, but there's a situation going on with that in itself. But yeah, the winner has had £62,000-ish, and a lot of people would be happy with that. I'm not saying that he's not happy with that, but he wants the rest of his money, and he's taken action now to get the rest of that. So, it is what it is, and that situation is that situation. Now, at this point, if you hadn't given up before, I think this was kind of time to give up. I think a lot of businesses would have closed down. They would have stopped running and just called it a day. But me, I don't like to run away from situations. Giving up wasn't really an option for me, mainly because I wanted to pay off my debt. I'm someone that's got I've had a good credit score for a long time. I'm someone that's from a rough place. I've had nothing my whole life growing up, and I'm not here giving you a sob story, but I've done a podcast on YouTube previously where I talked about where I came from and actually talked about starting up the business and stuff. And yeah, I prided myself on paying my bills and having a great credit score and stuff like that. So I didn't really want to run away from it. I didn't want to bankrupt the business. I know large companies do that all the time. They take out money, they try something, it doesn't work, bankrupt. So that's the reason why people have limited companies. But I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to run away from the debt. And now I had a winner that I was determined to pay. So yeah, that was the situation at the end of 2023. So I was going into 2024, one winner not paid, and in massive amounts of debt, and the site not doing well at all. Now going into 2024, like that, wasn't great. But around that same time, in January, I was given an opportunity to raffle a twin-turbo Audi R8. Something I'd never done before. And the good thing, again, with this car was similar to the R34. I didn't have to pay for it up front. So again, I'd take the car. This time I was able to take the car. The R34, I wasn't able to have it because it was far away and it was always broken, but it's another story. Yeah, I had the R8 in my possession and I was able to use it for promo and, etc. So that car went up and I thought this was a great opportunity. I don't have to pay for the car, pull it up, it's going to do great. It's a twin-turbo Audi R8. There was a £75,000 cash alternative attached to that and so on. So it seemed like this was great, a way to pay some debt down, pay the winner of the £100,000. The car owner gets rid of the car, great. As you can imagine, it didn't go that way. It didn't go that way at all. The competition itself did really bad. And not only that, as if my luck couldn't get any worse, while we were out doing a promotional video for the car was crashed. And it was crashed quite badly. Not like really bad, but it was bad and it was expensive. So not only now do I have debt from other things, not only do I owe a winner, 30 plus grand, I've got to find the money to fix this Audi R8 and I've now got to find the money to buy it because it couldn't go back, having now been damaged. So yeah, That car cost 115, 125, soon about 115 grand. So yeah, that was the situation with that. So I'll get into that car at a later date because there's a whole situation with that car as well, which I'm not going to touch on right now because I need to get into what's going on. So moving through that's how I started off 2024, by the way. This is the beginning of the year. This is how it started off. Now moving through 2024, things didn't really get any better at all. The competitions that I was doing were losing money. Like I'd put a £10,000 competition up and only £5 would come in. I put a 20 grand competition up and only £9 would come in. Once all the fees and stuff were covered. 2024 was just a really, really bad year for the Level Up giveaways. And I think a lot of competition sites started to see the effect of all the other sites coming up, but the smaller ones are the ones that got affected the worst because these bigger companies, they can do amazing prizes. I've not been doing competitions for a few months now, and I've started to see other sites, they're doing competitions for 9p, they're doing houses for 9p. And that's because they've got the customer base to be able to do that. They've got 1 million people on their emailing list, versus me, I don't even have 10% of that. And hats off to them. I'm not taking anything away from any other site. I know how hard this business is. And I just rate everyone that's doing something. Hats off to you. So yeah, things weren't doing great. And what started happening is it got to a point where I couldn't pay the winners. Like I said, I'd do a £10,000 competition and only £5 would come back. Now you do that 20 times, you're 100 grand down. And that's pretty much what was happening. I was doing a £5 competition every week. Sometimes, I went through a stage of trying to do them daily and stuff. I was doing absolutely everything to try and get Level Up giveaways back out there and get money coming in. And stupidly, what I started doing was I'd do a I'm using £10,000 for just for maths. I'd do a £10,000 competition, for example, and it would only bring £5,000 in. Now, for a little bit of time, I had the money to be able to pay the £10,000 to the winner. But it got to a point where I never. And instead of saying that to the winner, I would just do another competition that would bring in the other half, and then I pay that winner. But then I've got another winner who's not been paid, and you can see what happened. That just kept happening. And then before you knew it, the 10,000s were only bringing in 3,000, and stuff like that. So we're 7 grand down. And same with the cars. I'd put a car up that owed 40 grand, it'd only bring in 20. A lot of the time the winner would take the cash alternative, which would help, but the cash alternative was always good. So, if the car was worth 40 grand, the cash alternative would be 35, 30. So I'd still, if 20 grand only came in, I'd still be down a lot of money. And then I would need to sell the car to cover the rest and still be at a loss and stuff like that. So yeah, things just got out of hand quickly. In the space of 12 months, literally 12 months, things just went downhill. And when you're dealing with large amounts of money like that, it's easily done, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not making excuses. I'm not trying to justify it. I should have shut down. But I think I was just not only stupid, but I was kind of addicted to this helping people. And you probably wonder how you're helping people. Well, think about it. People were buying a ticket for £1 and winning 10 grand. People were buying a ticket for £1 and winning 100 grand. Winning cars, life-changing amounts of money. I can't tell you how proud I still am of Level Up giveaways. I used to ring winners and let them know they've just won £1,000, £10,000, £20,000, and I'd have people crying over the phone. Don't get me wrong, I'd have some people ungrateful. I'm joking, but some people would thanks. But 9 times out of 10, people were over the moon. I had people winning 3 times, 4 times, 10 times, 20 times. I had people, you know, winning from all over the place. And it was such a good feeling, man. I was literally giving back to everyone that was supporting me, and it felt amazing. And I kind of got addicted to that. And then, you know, it all went wrong. And it went from having those phone calls of people being happy to people getting angry with me and getting upset because they're not being paid yet. And, you know, that will knock someone's mental health. And I'm not playing on the mental health thing. I'm quite a very strong-minded person, but to go from having an amazing business, everyone knows me locally, know what I do, everyone's proud of me, to people looking to like sue me and stuff like that because they're not being paid and being angry with me, just sad, like really, really sad. And you know, yeah, it was rubbish. And then on top of this, I've mentioned it a couple of times, and I hate even mentioning it because I don't like putting my private business out there, but on top of all of that, last year, my mum got cancer. So not only am I dealing with all of that, I just found out my mum, who brought me into this world, to have an amazing relationship with my mum. We've been through hell together, been evicted out of houses, ran away together to get away from stuff. And, you know, I just had the news that she had cancer, and I had to pass that news on to my brother as well. And it was heartbreaking, man. And I'm lucky enough to not have experienced losing anyone close to me, or anyone close to me, like really close to me, getting ill. Got a very tight circle, and, you know, luckily for me, my mum and my dad, they're not together, but they're both alive. You know, so it hit me really hard. And yeah, it was just tough. And, you know, I had, not many people know this, but I had a child as well. I had another kid the year before that. So I've got a newborn, business is not doing well. I'm the you know, bread provider, and it just got really tough. Things got really tough, things got out of hand really quickly. I had 4 years of things doing great and 1 year of things going down the drain. There's a lot of stuff that I've missed out, but the basics and the most important stuff is there for all to see, and hopefully you understand how, yeah, winners haven't been paid, but it's not because I've been scamming people. There's people out there thinking that I've done a £10,000 competition and I've got £10,000 in the bank and just sitting on it. So I think there's around 25 winners that haven't been paid. I don't know the exact amount, which is really bad, but there's around 25 people that haven't been paid. And a lot of people think that I've just got this money and I'm just sat in the bank. It's sat in the bank and I've just been living my life. It's not the case, and it couldn't be any further from that at all. Level Up giveaways is my only form of income. I haven't been doing any competitions for months, so I had no money. And yeah, things have been tough. I'm not gonna lie, they've been tough, they've been hard. This is something that needed addressing. I didn't want it to end up like this at all. And I thought I had a handle on it. I thought I'd be able to do whatever I needed to do to make this work. I took on another unit, that, you know, smaller unit, to keep the cost down. I was trying to get the cost of the website down and stuff like that. So I was making moves to fix things, and then unfortunately it's just spiraled out of control. The biggest thing that I've done, which was really stupid of me, was not contacting people. My communication with people has just been really poor, and, you know, I haven't reached out to all the winners. I've reached out to some. I haven't reached out to every single winner and kept them up to date. I haven't told them exactly what's going on or X, Y, Z, and that is why we are here where we are today. Why it's in the papers. People have gone to the papers and said, I haven't been paid, I haven't heard from him. And why people haven't heard from me is because I buried my head in the sand. I literally just buried my head in the sand. I literally just turned my phone off, and I was just at a point where I was just like, I was going to explode. I had so much going on. Like I said, like newborn, business is collapsing, mum's got cancer, people are angry with me for not being paid out, debts that I can't pay because there's no money coming in, and it just got on top of me. And I think, luckily for me, I'm a strong-minded person. I mean, a lot of people in my situation, they may have done something else and not been here anymore. You know, debt is a serious thing, you know, and it takes a lot of lives. You know, people get into a situation that they can't get out of, they feel they can't get out of, and they do stupid things. Now, I'm not, you know, going to go down that route at all. And as much as this is going to sound silly, I'm kind of glad it's come out, because I've been dealing with this on my own for the last 2 years. You know, I've put on a brave face on social media. I put on a brave face to my family, who to this point don't even know what's going on. And yeah, I've just been playing the role of Anton, being okay, sorting everything out, sorting out other people's problems, and you know, and deep down, this is what's been going on. So I'm not proud of it, I'm not happy with it, but it is what it is, and it's a shame, because after 5 years of doing this business and breaking my neck, breaking my back to do it, and getting myself in the situation I've got myself into, I have got pretty much, personally, I've got nothing to show for it. I don't have a fancy car, don't have a fancy house that I own. Yeah, I've got debt, huge amounts of debt, and a newspaper article about me calling me a scammer, which I'm not going to be able to get out of that. I'm not going to be able to, that damage is done. It's there. People see it. People are going to see it. So hopefully a lot of people see this video, and hopefully a lot of people understand at least a little bit of the situation, and just, I hope you understand I'm not a scammer. You know, for me, if I was doing a £10,000 competition and I was keeping the money and spending it and living life, then yeah, fair enough. Like, don't get me wrong, yeah, I've got a few Mark IV Golfs that I've had for years, that when the business was doing good, I purchased, but I haven't bought or cheated myself in a long time. I haven't been on one family holiday in like 10 years, because I've been on with this. And you know, like I said, if I'm not here running this business, it doesn't run. Now, moving on to what's going to happen moving forward, the truth is I don't know. There's a little bit of money that's been held in an account that I'm waiting to be released, so that I can pay a few winners, or you know, refund a few competitions and stuff. At this moment in time, I don't have access to their website because I haven't been able to pay for it. So it's been closed. I'm assuming I can pay the bill, and obviously it gets opened up again, so I can see what's what. But at this point, yeah, I just don't have the means to continue. We lost the payment provider that I was using. So when you buy a ticket, the money comes in, goes to a payment provider, the payment provider hold it, and then they send it to me, minus their fees. They went a few months back when they realized people weren't getting paid. We've lost our emailing account ages ago. That was because they stopped allowing you to do the sites that I do, the business that I do, sorry. So we weren't even able to send out emails for a long time while doing the business. And yeah, things are just not great. So I'm not too sure. I've got a few options. I've had contact from a few people who are interested in buying the business. I've got a couple of people that are interested in investing in the business, because I've been able to tell a selected few what's actually gone on, and obviously people understand that I'm not a scammer, and okay, that it's just a case of that. So if I was able to make the money back, get everyone paid, you know, yeah, this damage has been done, but at least things have been sorted. Now, the easy option for most people would to just liquidate the company, call it a day. You know, people saying to me like, yeah, winners are not being paid, but they've put £2 in and they've put a tenner in. Like, yeah, they haven't had the winning, but the 5, 10, 15, whatever £1,000, but it's not like I've gone to them and taken £15,000 out of their bank. It's cost them £10. And again, that's not me justifying it. And I don't really agree with that analogy, but I guess that is the fact of it. But me being me, I want to make things right. I want to get this sorted. And I think the only way to do that is to continue, really. And is that even possible? I don't know. Should I even continue having just told you everything that I've told you? I don't know. I mean, do I come back, just start smaller? Because that's what I was planning on doing anyway. I was slimming everything down. I was just going to just do small competitions, do like £2,000, £3,000 a week or something. I don't know. But what, I do need to decide quickly. And, who knows? This could be the biggest bounce back of ever. I could be doing another video at the end of 2025 saying, what, thank you to everyone. Everyone's paid. Business is doing good, and I'm happy, and everyone else is happy as well. I don't know. Hopefully that's the way it goes. But yeah, guys, I want to say thank you to everyone that has supported throughout these years. I want to say thank you to my friends and family who have seen the papers and understood. No one's jumped to conclusions. They've come and asked me first. There's a lot of horrible comments in whatever, but I understand because I haven't come out and said my side. So of course people are just going to assume, oh yeah, it doesn't look good. Can't get hold of me, haven't been paid, what's going on? I understand it, but a lot of people are saying a lot of nasty things without knowing the full story or even waiting to hear from, there's no matter which way you look at it, there's always going to be two sides to a story. So thank you to everyone that's reached out and checked in and made sure I'm okay. A lot of people seeing that I've not been posting on social media lately or anything like that. And that's just because I've just not been with it. Obviously, I've had all this going on. So why am I posting on social media pretending that everything's okay when it's not? So I'm going to end it there. I'm going to try and do another part 2 probably later on and just update people of what's going on and where we're at with things. But for now, it's the holidays. My holidays have been quite ruined with this. Christmas Day, I'm getting messages and comments of people threatening and saying all sorts of crazy stuff, and I'm sat there Christmas Day instead of spending it with my family, replying to people stupidly. And yeah, it's not been great, but it is what it is. Hopefully this has helped people understand a bit more. If you don't understand and you don't get it and you still think what you think, there's not much more I can say or do. But I'll update more people as I can, when I can. Thank you to everyone for your support. Have a good new year. Have a great 2025. And yeah, I'll see you all soon.